Hey.
How's your week been this week?
Yeah, it was good this week. Pretty interesting, but this weekend was nice and chill. Didn't do too much. It was pretty standard over you.
Same old, same old. Just worked and not much going on. We went to Joe Coy yesterday, which was fun. Who's a Filipino comedian, if you guys don't know who
Yeah,
he
he's
is.
hilarious.
It was pretty funny. That was my first time at a comedy show too. And it was huge. I mean, it was in Ball Arena where the Avs and Nuggets play, so he sold out the whole stadium,
Yeah, it's crazy.
which was really cool to see.
I've never been to a comedy show either,
Yeah,
so it was interesting.
I just am used to I feel like it's smaller, more intimate settings and not a whole concert venue in a way. So it was cool to see. It was a lot of people. But yeah, he was pretty funny.
He puts on a good show. He seems really comfortable up there in
Yeah.
front of so many people.
He's so confident. I could never do that.
Yeah, it's crazy. And he kind of had the whole stadium laughing and
Mhm.
singing, which is cool.
But that was a cool experience, something new. Other than that, nothing.
Yeah.
Not new.
Yeah, so I guess the one big thing is we, for the first time, I feel like kind of let people know about this podcast more.
Yeah, true. We promoted Nolan's episode a lot more than we usually do. And we posted on our personals, and I think we gained a lot of followers, at least from our friends, which is a cool thing. It's cool to see the support and
Yeah. It's interesting, I felt like the reason why we made so many episodes and didn't say anything about it was because I think it's easier to just kind of do it.
yeah.
And I don't know, once you start telling people about it, obviously you get all this constructive criticism maybe, or you get some ideas that people have, which are all great. It's just, we kind of wanted to make it before we said anything.
Yeah, and also stick to it as well and commit to it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, at least for me, if I listen back to even our first episodes, we're still learning a lot. Each episode's different, and I feel getting a little bit better. We're learning.
Yeah, I think it's getting better.
So I wanted to get the process down first, and then be able to have our friends on the show, like Nolan last week, and also feel comfortable putting it out there for everyone to see, and hopefully it's I don't know, something we're proud of too.
Yeah. It's it's cool to have some. It's cool to work on something and kind of have a physical product that you can show people.
I agree. It's also crazy because, at least for me, I've had a ton of people reach out that I haven't really talked to in a few years.
Right.
And it's all really positive feedback, or asking if they could be on the show, or if we need a guest in the future, they'd be interested. And that was a really cool experience too, just realizing even if you don't talk to people, they're still recognizing what you're doing and appreciating it and supporting, which is cool for me at least. I don't know if you have the same experience or similar ones.
Nah, mostly the people I can talk to daily were the people who reached out about it, but
Yeah.
I think that's a cool way to kind of take it if you reach out to people you haven't met, or not met, but haven't talked to in a while, and kind of get their take on what they're doing.
Right.
Which is a cool way to kind of catch up with people. And so that's a cool experience for sure. And I think as we continue to make more of these, it'll change the way that obviously the podcast will change and we'll make adjustments and stuff, but that's one direction where I never really thought about this thing going, is just talking to people that you used to know a lot and you don't really know how their life's going right now. but just kind of rekindling like what you guys, I don't know, like friendships, relationships, stuff like that.
And I feel like we too have been talking about guests that we want to have on of our friends and also family or whoever, mutual friends. We have cool friends. They're all doing a lot
There's
of
some interesting
different
people out here.
things, which is really cool. So yeah, we're lucky.
I feel like people in Colorado are very free-spirited people out here. There's a lot of people who kind of do whatever they want and just live their lives, which is really cool. Because you meet a lot of people who do a lot of different things, who have a lot of different interests that you never really would learn about. So the people out here are definitely like, the people we met and become friends with there's some free-spirited people, some people who are not afraid to just do whatever they want to, which is cool. Yeah, so, I don't know, do you want to get into the topic for the day, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, I think that we want to talk about social media, and I want to talk about both the benefits and the disadvantages, because I feel like there's both. So that's kind of the topic we wanted to touch on today.
It's a pretty, I don't know. It's a pretty broad and loaded topic, I'd say, because, I don't know, it's successfully changed the way that people interact with each other as a whole, especially now that kids are growing up with it now. It's like not, we probably didn't, I mean, I think we're right on the cusp where like we grew up with a lot of the apps that were like starting off, but now they're huge. And now there's like the kids that are growing up now just have these huge like apps. I guess I didn't really have Instagram till like it looked like that little brown. Remember that little brown thing that it used to be? And then on like an iPhone 3GS or something like that in middle school.
Yeah.
And you would have like 10 people that you followed, and like I think those were like the good days of Instagram, because I look back at it now and it's like not really something I use anymore.
We'd post like random things too.
Yeah.
I remember posting like my breakfast or like the duck face with a peace sign, like not caring.
Yeah.
And now it's like, nope, you have to really, I don't know. I guess you don't have to, but Instagram is very put together social media now.
Yeah, it's weird. It's crazy how like it changed, because I feel like when we started using it at first, I'd post kind of things like that where it's like you post something about your life or what you're doing, and then like 5 of your good friends would be like, oh, that's cool, and then that's it. Like 10 people will see it max, and like nobody really was like trying to, I don't know, it was like a real life app for a little bit, and now it's like completely transformed into something that you kind of try to project a certain idea about yourself, or which, I mean, it's a really cool app to kind of, you obviously see things there that you'd never see anywhere else, but it's also got a lot of disadvantages too, and we can get into that a little bit later. But when do you think you first got on social media?
It was definitely probably middle school, like you were saying.
Yeah.
I didn't get a phone until middle school either, so it's not like I had one in elementary school. I was so jealous of everyone that did.
Yeah, I didn't have one until middle school either.
Yeah, I got one probably like 6th grade for my birthday.
It's like once you had to start taking the bus to school.
Yeah, and like for me it was like dance practice, like make sure we get out in time, and I don't know, carpools. Whatever.
Yeah, you need an actual cell phone.
Right, to contact my family. I had older cousins that put me on to like Instagram, and I remember Snapchat being the biggest one. One of my cousins would be so excited about this new app. It's called Snapchat. And I remember we were at like a family party, and she's showing all my aunts and uncles, my mom, my dad. And she's like, it's so cool, like you take a picture and it goes away.
Yeah.
And you send it to someone, but like it won't come back.
It doesn't make any sense.
I remember my mom's like, you're not getting that app. And I'm like, what? Why? Like, it's so cool. My older cousins have it, you know, and I obviously always look up to them. as my kind of older siblings, or I always wanted to do what they did.
Yeah.
And they all would Snapchat each other, and I'm just sitting there like, wow, I can't have this. And my mom's like, I know this is going to be trouble someday. It disappears, but I know it doesn't actually disappear. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But that I remember being the cool new thing.
Yeah.
I think after Instagram. Because I was on Instagram.
Yeah. That was crazy. I think, so, I don't know, Snapchat doesn't really, if you think about the concept of it, I don't really understand how it got so popular. It's just like the erasing the pictures and stuff. It's like texting but through pictures.
That's what I think is what gets people's attention.
Yeah.
Texting, you're kind of behind your phone and you're not really seeing the other person. It's like, this is showing your face.
Yeah, but a lot of the time you don't even say anything.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. So, I think in like the glory days, when I first got a phone, was middle school, and I didn't use social media for a while because I don't have any older cousins or anything. Well, I do, but they're not very much older than me. And so I would use it to pretty much play games. Like I had like tons of games on there, but never, like I would just text my friends or my mom or use email or something. Like I think I was later to the game than the social media, which I'm honestly happy about. But my first one was Instagram, and then I never really posted on there. I've never been a huge poster on social media in general, but as soon as I got Snapchat, I didn't really understand how it worked, and I was embarrassed to be like, how does this work, to ask other people. And so I thought like stories, you know how like you see people snap stories. I didn't realize they go out to everybody. So I would see them, and I would have like a few friends on there. I probably had like 10 or 15 friends on there, and I would see like a couple people's stories, and I thought they were like sending them to me. So I would respond to all of them. I would go in and respond to them, and just like make comments, because you can like swipe up on them. And I did that for like weeks. I'm like, oh my god, these people keep sending me all this stuff. Like, I can't respond to all this. And then
You're so popular.
Yeah, I was like, there would be just multiple ones I had to click through and respond to them. Like, and then the people I feel like nobody had to send anything to me like straight up. Like, why are you responding to all my stories? But then I found out like one of my buddies, we were like looking at his Snapchat or something, and he was like, yeah, this goes to everybody. Like, I was like, oh, you got that same snap? And he was like, no, this goes to everybody. I was like, oh, like that was embarrassing. I remember. And so I quickly learned that lesson. But I don't know, those were the good days when you didn't have, now you have a lot of people that you may not even know anymore on Snapchat or Instagram, like you know, people you're following or things like that. But the glory days I think were when it was just like your best friends.
Right.
That you just like kind of see and Snapchat your best friends. The one thing I had thought about when I was thinking about this episode was, why do people, like back in the day, or I guess still now, like Snapchat-wise, Snapchat upwards of 50 to 100 people. People you may not even like know, or like the most random people you're sending pictures of your face to.
I feel like that was a big thing in high school.
Yeah.
Even I would Snapchat so many people for like no reason. I get what you're saying, but I think it was just because it was the thing. You know what I mean? Like everyone was doing it.
Yes, like what you did, yeah.
I did like it because it was an easy way to stay in touch with people, and you didn't have to talk all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
You just send a snap a day, but what I think is crazy is, I think you're right. Like we kind of grew up from middle school on with all these new social medias and kind of grew up with them.
Yeah.
As we grew, they grew. My sister, for example, like only uses Snapchat to contact her friends. If I have to get a hold of her, she'll answer Snapchat quicker than her phone. I can call her, and she won't answer, and she'll Snapchat me. I'm like,
that's crazy.
Wait, call me, dude.
Yeah.
So I think that's something we missed, which I'm glad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I
We're like
don't
on
know.
the cusp of the tipping point where it's like people start relying on social media like a little bit after us.
Like to make plans, she'll
Yeah.
text, or I guess Snapchat DM or whatever, her friends to make plans. I'm like, why don't you just call them
Yeah.
or text them? I do like it because I have all my group chat, Snapchat, whatever, from like college and stuff, and it's
Yeah.
cool to like see what my friends are doing because now none of us really live in the same area. So that's a cool thing I do like to have. And I think it's just funny.
Yeah, well, that's one of the best. It's so weird because social media has, like, I feel like been the greatest thing this world has seen so far, but also like the worst thing.
Yeah.
It's like the greatest and the worst at the exact same time.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the huge benefits is that you could literally stay in touch with anybody
Mm-hmm.
at all times, or you can at least see what they've been doing.
Yeah.
Like
Without
people-
even having to talk to them.
Yeah. And like, this example for this, like people have seen that we're doing this, that we haven't talked to in forever.
Right.
And that's because of social media, and it keeps the world very connected,
Mm-hmm.
which is something like that's never been like happened before.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
It feels almost like unhuman to be connected to that many people all the time.
And even kind of going back to what you were saying earlier, but I remember Joe Coy kind of yesterday made a comment like, all you 16-year-olds are so lucky you have the world in your palm. Like, we didn't have that growing up. And even though we didn't, basically, like, we weren't born into, like, social media and stuff, like, it kind of happened when we were growing up, we still have that, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was like, I know I'm not a 16-year-old doing all those things on social right now, but, like, I still am. If that makes sense. Like, we still were born with it, I guess.
No, I still
we
use it.
have it in our palm of our hand. Like, our parents didn't have that. Or what he was saying, like, older generations. So I agree, like, it definitely has its benefits, and it's definitely some cons, a lot of cons, but if you use it in a good way, I think it can be beneficial. Obviously, it could be misused.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure we've both been there. At least I have. You know, it's very addictive and easy to, I think, compare yourself to other people as well.
Yeah,
It's one of the things I at least struggle with.
Yeah, it seems it's really tough. And then going back to the addiction part is part of the reason why, like, I try my best to stay off of it.
Yeah.
Is because it's kind of scary the way that it
Makes
has
sense, too.
figured out. It has figured out the brain chemistry inside of human beings and decided that it knows how to.
It knows what you want to see.
Yeah, it knows exactly what you want to see, and it can give it to you in really quick increments.
Mm-hmm.
And it's insane at this point where it's like, it's almost like reading your mind,
Yeah.
if you think about it, and having something in your pocket at all times you can take out, and like, as soon as you open the app, whether you know it or not, people are taking that data, what's going on in your head, and using that somewhere else, trying to sell it back to you.
Right.
And that is,
Genius.
yeah, obviously it's crazy, but it's scary at the same time. It's
Yeah,
like,
it is.
I don't know, you've never given out, I feel like humanity's never given out so much information about themselves before to like other people.
Yeah, it is pretty freaky. But at the same time, it's like, that's our generation.
Yeah, well, that's how it works now. There's no changing it, no going back. So,
No.
and it's obviously here to stay for sure. I think it's only going to get better at reading what you want.
And there's always, I feel like every single year, there's some new social media platform that comes out and is the new hot thing, you know?
I thought it was funny, like, you know that app Be Real? I was thinking about that one, and it's pretty popular for people our age, I feel like. A lot of people use it that are our age, and all it is it's like the old version of Instagram almost, where it's like you would just take a picture of your breakfast.
Yeah.
Or you just take a picture I don't know, outside or something like that. And it's
Yeah.
like, it's a social media app that is trying to figure out a way to make your life, more real, which is cool. But also, I feel like it's like a social media app that is trying to go back in time to when people actually use social media to like talk about what they're doing daily, or like not trying to make it
Yeah,
a huge projection.
I think they were
Almost.
trying to definitely make it a better, healthier social media platform. Because you
Yeah.
are taking it, you're supposed to be taking it like right in that moment,
Mm-hmm.
and you could be in the tub or like
Mhm.
working or doing whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of cool. I'm on it. But again, it's always like something new is coming out.
Mm-hmm. It's like, it is weird though, because you kind of see those apps now that are like, Be Real has pretty much gotten people to take pictures of themselves, what they're doing every day, and like it's given a little insight to your day-to-day life now.
Right.
And I don't know. I'm getting more creeped out by the apps that are coming out, and they're figuring out a way to get people to show more of their life and like,
Yeah.
as like, I don't know, in a couple of years everybody's life is gonna just totally be out there. It's like,
I feel like it already kind of is.
yeah, I know, it's just gonna get worse too. So I don't know, it creeps me out. I don't use Be Real anymore for that reason. And then I don't know, I'm trying to get off social media as much as possible. But there's one, I will tell you, that has got me in a chokehold right now.
I was about to say, Mr. Skeptical over here. Why don't you share which one you love?
Yeah, so I'm addicted to Twitter for sure. I have a time limit on there, like 30 minutes, but my brain is honestly just subconsciously exit out of that time limit anymore. It doesn't like make a difference at this point. So I was trash on other social medias, but Twitter, man, is the best one by far. I think Twitter's the best one. I go there because there's like funny stuff on there, and like people kind of, I don't know, you can see people's creativity on there really well. It's really short form, like little paragraphs that you read sometimes, and you can kind of just go through it. I like it for the live reactions to things that happen. So like if there's like a big sporting event, I go on Twitter immediately to see what people are saying about it, which is really cool because you get to hear, like, I don't know, it has like a For You page now where it's like not even people you follow, it's just like things you might like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is like pretty much like TikTok or something. Like based on the things that you view and spend the most time looking at, like here's more stuff similar to that.
Yeah.
Which I probably spend most of my time on that too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's really cool for that, and then I think it's really cool to just like, if you want to see funny memes and stuff, that's the place you gotta go. And so yeah, I guess, and I get news from there too. Like it has got everything on there, which is why I'm on it so often.
All the time.
Yeah. What do you think is? I know you're not huge into Twitter.
I used to be. I got not in trouble, but I got myself in trouble, like with myself, because I would be the biggest drunk tweeter.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why. It would make no sense either. It was mostly like, I think my peak was sophomore year of college, and I would tweet nonsense, and it was funny because I'd wake up and it was like 4 a.m. and it was like to me it was.
Yeah.
I used to like Twitter. I'm not really on it either. I'm also trying to dial back on social media. I think quarantine, I was fully addicted to like everything. I think it was just because I was so bored and nothing to do.
Yeah.
TikTok was like, I spent so much time on TikTok. So after quarantine, I really realized like how much time I'm wasting and how shitty this is. So I actually deleted TikTok and I started doing like the parental controls, like time limit on all my apps, and I started with like an hour because I would spend 5 hours a day on social media.
Yeah.
So I wanted to slowly go down and decrease my time. And then the last 2 years I was on only 30 minutes. And I actually like felt good. Like I would listen to them, but some days, like on Sunday, if I was hungover and bored, I obviously would click out of it.
Yeah.
I haven't had TikTok the last 2 years though, and I downloaded it again literally last week solely because of the podcast. And
Yeah.
it's insane how addictive it is.
That one's the most addictive by far.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't want it again. But I was talking to my brother and a few other of my friends, and they were like, if you really want to get your podcast out there, and not even to just your friends, to a bigger audience,
Yeah.
TikTok's the way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shit. And I knew you weren't going to do it, so I did it. And it's dangerous. It's so dangerous.
Yeah. It's it's kind of like being addicted to a drug almost.
Yeah, it's really bad and annoying at the same time.
Yeah.
Because I haven't been on it for 2 years, and I was like really proud of that. And I'm on it. I'm like, shit, I just wasted a whole hour of my day doing what?
Nothing.
Like, I don't need to watch this girl do her makeup routine, you know?
Like these food videos.
Or, yeah. I think that there are a lot of cons, but I also did learn a lot from TikTok, especially during quarantine, like all my crafts I did or recipes.
Yeah.
My sister and I would always cook and like make the random like TikTok famous recipe, which was fun.
It's good for recipes.
Yeah, I think, again, there's always a con and a pro, and the pro is you can learn a lot, and it's such a big platform. The con is it's very addictive, you know.
And you kind of can get off the learning path into like the mindless scrolling path pretty quickly.
Yeah, and it's like, again, I don't need to watch this, but I am.
Yeah. Got my attention.
Right. So TikTok is one I do love. It's fun. It makes time go by fast if you want it to, but it's so addictive. I think that's the most addictive one in my personal situation.
Well, so I knew myself when I would watch Vine.
Yeah.
I was huge into Vine.
Loved Vine.
And that was probably when I was in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
Is when that came out. Because I don't know, were people using TikTok when we were in high school? Yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like not in middle school, people were using Vine.
Yeah. Vine, yeah.
Yeah, Vine is the best. Honestly, if I could go back and look at my old Vine likes, that would probably be one of the best things ever.
A lot of them reappear on TikTok, which is crazy, but...
But I knew myself on that, and as soon as Vine stopped being a thing, and TikTok came about, I was like, there's no way I can't download this. I'm gonna lose my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've never really had it ever.
Yeah.
Which is something I'm proud about.
It should be, because...
Yeah.
And it's also, I don't know, I feel like everything is always on TikTok. Like, you can get your news from there, too. Don't know if it's a credible source, but, like, this Haley...
Usually not, probably.
This Haley and Selena drama that's all out.
Yeah.
My friends keep sending it to me, and I'm like, wait, what? And then I get TikTok, and all my feed is that. I'm like... It's just dumb things like that where other people are talking about it, and I have always had no clue what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So now I feel back into the loop.
I feel like TikTok's full of a bunch of false... There's so much I don't know, I feel like there's so much garbage on there too. It's just like you don't really know what's true.
Yeah.
And TikTok is like pretty good at spreading things that may not be true.
I feel like that's all social medias though. Like you said, you get your news on Twitter.
Yeah.
It can't always be true.
True. I guess you're right. I've gotten duped before too.
You gotta check your sources.
Facts. And I've definitely gotten duped before as like someone like believing something that is like clearly like a fake or like a meme or... Well, because now you can verify yourself. Like I could go on Twitter right now and get verified if I paid $8 a month or something. And
what?
so, yeah.
Really?
So then now you have no idea who's verified and who's not. Like what is true and what's not. So yeah, it's like I could have a blue check mark next to my name if I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
I think it says like there's like a white check mark or something if you're verified by Twitter as like a credible source, and then there's like a blue check mark for people who like paid to be verified.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't see that, but
Yeah, it's because Elon Musk is like changing a bunch of stuff about it, I feel like. But yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it evolves
yeah.
now that it's privately owned too.
Another benefit of social media that I've personally found was finding my roommate for freshman year of college. I found her through social media, and
Yeah.
that was really cool because you could go onto their accounts
Mhm.
and kind of see what their life is like without actually meeting them. Because she was from the West Coast, I obviously am from the Midwest, so I couldn't have seen her unless I wanted to fly out, you know? So we met the first day we moved in,
Yeah.
which is crazy to think about, but it ended up working out perfectly fine, and we're still friends today. But I was able to meet her and talk to her through social media, get her number, then we call each other, you know,
Yeah.
bond through that. So that, I think, is a really cool benefit.
You do your own little background check almost.
Yeah.
Which
Or just see like what they're about, their vibe, and you know.
I couldn't imagine like, I don't know, people who went to college 20, 30 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Random roommate, you just walk to college and open up the door and there's somebody random living there too, and you're just like,
Yeah.
what's up?
I could never. I mean, those people, I have respect for them.
Yeah, random roommate's hard enough right now, but
Yeah.
that sounds crazy because like you have no idea what you're walking into at that point.
Or even my little sister, again, to bring it back to her, she is graduating from high school and trying to figure out what college she's going to.
Mhm.
And they literally have separate Instagrams for her colleges she's applying to, and then you like DM them and they do a whole Instagram post about you. And that's how she's
To find a
trying
roommate?
to find a roommate.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Which is so, I mean, we did Facebook, so it wasn't that
Yeah.
much different, but it was like a chat,
Yeah,
and you post yourself, but here it's like someone runs the account,
yeah.
which is cool too. But that was like definitely a benefit. I wouldn't have found my roommate if that didn't happen, you know?
Yeah. No, that's good. I mean, it is nice. You get to see and kind of make sure that you guys will get along, or make sure that you guys have some similar interests or something like that.
Or even mutual friends, which is cool too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think for me, the worst I was on social media was like definitely living in the house, my sorority house, and getting into the sorority. Like that was hard on social media. I don't know why. I think just seeing my other friends from other colleges post, and then the new girls I was following that I barely even knew post, and a lot of comparing yourself. I struggled with that a lot.
Yeah.
And looking back, I should have just deleted it all. But like, it's so hard to actually do that.
No, it's like they make it damn near impossible
'Cause,
to be without it.
yeah.
Because there's, I don't know, you do feel like you're missing a lot
Mhm.
if you're not on it. And I can see how that could be a huge issue, is like comparing yourself to other people. That's probably one of the worst issues that social media brings, is like you see these pictures of people that could or could not be like edited a little bit, or like just not, as natural as a normal picture is, and it definitely messes with your brain. You can kind of feel self-conscious. You're like, well, I don't look like that.
100%.
I don't do all that cool stuff, and they do all that cool stuff. Like, why is my life the worst, and their life is so cool?
Yeah.
And that's really unhealthy, it seems like.
Because I definitely had a hard freshman year, and seeing everyone else's posts being like, I met my best friends, and I got into a sorority, and I was doing the same things, but it was just seeing it on social media, and obviously it looks like this perfect world, it was hard to see, and I don't know, I always was like, why am I not experiencing or like feeling that? I was posting, probably looked like I was like, thriving.
Well, people probably compare
having
themselves
fun.
to you too.
It's just crazy to think about. in that way.
Yeah, and then for the people that are kind of growing up and trying to figure out who they are as a person,
Mm-hmm.
it is probably so damaging to put yourself in that mindset at all times. Like, why am I not this, or why am I not that? Why don't I do this? Why don't I do that? And I can't, like, so I mean, I'm acting like I'm old here, but I was like, I can't imagine growing up with all this like social media that they have in like middle school or right now.
I know. Even I see like girls that are probably 15 years old and they look older than me, because like
Yeah.
the makeup and the ring. I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, and so it's like it kind of dribbles down the younger you get at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's like once you get a phone, obviously the first thing you're gonna do is probably download TikTok or something.
Yeah, my friends and I were making like iMovie
Mhm.
music videos, dressing up in like princess costumes,
Yeah.
just crazy outfits. Me and my cousins too. And now it's like the girls
Yeah.
that I was that age at one point are doing like belly dances on TikTok.
Yeah.
And like getting like lip pumpers
Yeah.
and like crazy shit like that. I'm like, what the?
You sound like I'm 100 years old right now, but it's like, I don't know, it's crazy. I was like,
It is.
I would not want to live like, I would not want to grow up like that, even though like, I think we did a little bit, but
You definitely did.
I think it has changed in the last couple of years at this point. Like it's
Yeah.
gotten crazy. And even when we were younger, like, I don't know, people our age probably got phones when they were 6th, 7th grade, I would say. It was like once you got out of elementary school and stuff, I would bet majority of elementary schoolers have phones right now.
Oh yeah.
And probably have social media.
Mm.
And if I had that during elementary school, I feel like I wouldn't have developed.
I know. I'm
It's
glad
like-
we like
yeah,
got
it's
to play
hard.
outside and have play dates.
Yeah, it's
Call each other on our house phones, you know.
it's
Go
kind of
through the
scary.
directory.
Uh-huh.
I had all my friends highlighted.
Mm-hmm. But I bet as a parent, you're like I don't know, like my kid feels left out if he doesn't have a phone or something. Like I should just give him one, or like that iPad. Like you see kids that are just glued to the iPad.
iPad kids.
Yeah, and I mean, it keeps them entertained, which is good, and I'm sure it makes it easier on the parents. But I don't know, it's also like
It
they
is
could
just
be
crazy.
mindlessly scrolling
Right.
at 10 years old.
Which is definitely not great. And it's like you could find anything you want. Even on
I know, yeah.
you
Yeah.
can type in anything and get it in a second.
hmm So yeah, the access to information is ridiculous.
I think it definitely has been misused, and I'm part of that. Like I've definitely have been addicted and misused these great platforms that we are blessed to have,
hmm
but they have to be used in a good way.
Yeah, which is like I don't know if that's possible. Like I don't know if you can completely change the way.
I don't know though, because I feel like I follow this one influencer. It's all like health related, not like beauty or whatever.
Yeah, gotcha.
And I think she like built her platform in a really healthy way.
hmm
Used social media to get her audience,
Yeah,
and she's successful. You know,
Mhm.
she's probably a millionaire now,
yeah,
and she's like our age.
yeah,
Things like that, I'm like, okay, good for you. If
Yeah.
you're gonna put yourself out there and actually bring some help and benefit to the world,
yeah,
then do it.
yeah.
You know?
Gotcha. Okay, that's what you mean. Okay.
But obviously, some people don't, and
Yeah.
there's haters, there's like trolls, there's
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know people that are just bullies.
Yeah. That's a good point though, because it also social media has opened up a lot of opportunities for people who may not have like it might be hard for them to like get a job or something. Like there's a lot of people who are figured out a way to make money off of it.
Right.
And
And
like
if they're really
get
passionate
attention.
and good
Yeah.
at it, like at content creating or whatever.
You can make a huge career out of that.
Oh, 100%.
Which that's cool because it opens up, because anybody who has a phone or anybody who has access to the internet can do it,
Right.
which is like, that is something that's super cool, that it has given so many people opportunities to make a great career for themselves and make a really good living, just based off of like turning your computer on and like kind of what we're doing now, like simple setup here, but I don't know, it can make a huge like impact on your life if it goes the right way, which is crazy.
We were trying to figure out how to get our podcast out, and I do post on all of our socials and have our own platforms and stuff.
Yeah.
I texted you being like, should we make flyers and hang them up around Denver? And you were like, no.
No.
I'm like, yeah, I guess it's a little old school, huh?
Well, I also don't know how to make a fucking flyer.
What?
That's
a lie.
Well, would you do it on like
definitely do.
Canva or something?
Yeah, you just print it out on paper.
Yeah, I guess you're right. You probably can't do that hard. I remember Joe Coy literally had a joke about that last
I
night.
know.
Like, people our age don't know how to make flyers.
Yeah. You.
Yeah, probably.
But wait, seriously, was like actually considering it too. Like, I'd be fine going on a walk and hanging up. And you were like, what the fuck?
I don't know.
Just post on social media. I'm like, okay, fine.
It is pretty old school though, because
That's what you would do. Like, if we didn't have social media, that's what we'd be doing, you know?
Yeah. Putting out flyers and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know, it's pretty funny, but I guess I feel like I don't look at them very often. Great. Alright, so here's why I think flyers are going out of style right now, because
They've been out of style.
yeah, well, obviously like using paper and like putting that outside
Yeah, I guess.
is kind of like littering almost. But people are just looking at their phones anyways.
Right.
Like when you're standing on the corner of a street and you're waiting across the street, you're looking at your phone anyways. Nobody's looking at the light post or whatever that there's a flyer on.
Very true.
Which is like, I guess kind of sad, but yeah, you could see it going
It's sad, yeah.
going out of style at this point. Yeah, do you see these social medias we're using now going out of style at some point?
I don't know. Because I feel like Snapchat and Instagram are still in. Like, that's still
Yeah.
the big two. TikTok's obviously a big one, but I didn't, like, grow up with it, I guess.
Yeah.
That's kind of a newer-ish one. I guess not newer, but you know what I'm saying?
They'll go away and they'll like Facebook is not being used by people our age anymore.
No.
But it's still huge and like.
I think, like, my grandpa loves Facebook.
Yeah.
He loves it. So does my grandma. And my parents will go on it, and I think it's definitely.
It's huge in the mom community, I feel like.
Yeah, older generation. Not old, sorry, but our parents' ages, I guess. I don't know, I think for us it's been Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. And again, since Be Real just came out, there's always going to be another platform coming out.
Yeah. Yeah, it always changes.
So you never know.
Yeah. I started to use, the only social media I was letting myself use was Twitter. But I started using Reddit a little bit, which I feel like is one that not as many people use as like the big 4 or the big 5 ones.
Yeah, I don't even have a Reddit, but I don't even know what it's about.
Yeah,
like,
it's pretty much Twitter.
It is.
Yeah, essentially, but you can kind of read more in depth about certain topics, and like there's all these like Reddit professionals out there that like, I don't know, you can find good informational stuff on Reddit, but you can also find a bunch of crazy like wormhole, black hole conspiracies like that you can kind of fall into on there as well.
Okay.
I feel like it's more, for some reason it feels more like less filtered than other social medias. And I'm not sure if it's like, because, I don't know, I feel like you're more anonymous in Reddit a little bit.
Okay.
And like my profile, I don't like follow, like I don't post or anything. I don't have any like followers. I just kind of like have just an anonymous account that I just look at Reddit for.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like nobody would be able to tell that's me.
Okay, what would you post on it though?
Yeah, you post like discussions almost, or like videos, and then like they're called like subreddits.
Okay.
And like you can kind of like you post like a topic or something, like a question some people post, and then you like click on the question and there's like a ton of it's like a huge conversation of people talking about it. So it's like I don't know, like for example, remember that like blue black dress versus like gold white? I actually saw that picture resurface on Reddit not too long ago, and there's just people talking about it, like back to that old conversation of, oh, is this blue or black, or oh, is this
who's
like
right, who's wrong?
Yeah. Which that was pretty funny. That brought me back to when that dress was coming out. That was a crazy picture, but it was a picture of somebody wearing it.
Okay. What did you see?
I think I saw black blue, yeah, when I was first looking at it. And apparently that was the bad one.
I always saw that too, but...
Yeah, that means you're gonna die soon or something. That's what people would say.
It's like, oh great.
I would tweet about that too sometimes. Where it's like, retweet or else your mom's gonna die.
Yeah. I hate that.
And I would believe that. Like, that's so dumb.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So, I mean, yeah, Red's cool. I mean, I recommend it for sure.
I think something we didn't talk about is social media does bring a lot of entertainment.
Yeah.
Which is, again, it can waste your time, but it is hilarious. It's so funny.
That's why I'm on
You
Twitter.
know, and even if I'm having a bad day, I'm like, I just need to laugh a little bit, find something funny, send it to a couple of friends, whatever, but...
Sometimes I hate the fact that, like, I go there to like,
get happy.
to be happy.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. Yeah, it's like going outside or something.
You're right, I should just go touch some grass.
Yeah, just like go outside. That'll probably make you just as happy.
You're right.
It's probably way healthier. But I find myself just going on there when I'm like, need to look at something.
Right.
Or like, the one problem for me that I think is so dangerous is I try so hard for social media not to be the first thing I look at when I wake up. And I don't know, I think it's so important that that's not the first thing you're seeing is like other people's opinions and stuff as soon as you wake up. But you gotta check in with yourself before you check in with the rest of the world.
Other people, yeah. I agree.
But I find myself doing it sometimes, and it's like, I don't know, I catch myself, I'm like, this can't be good.
That's something I definitely did stop doing, because I did struggle with that too. Again, especially during quarantine.
Yeah.
And it's always because I have those little like numbers on it if someone sent me something or like whatever it is.
Yeah.
So like that was so easy for me to just go click in and see what that was about.
Yeah,
and
you gotta
then,
delete notifications.
And then you scroll,
Mhm.
you know? No, that's something I was very strict about moving on from. Like I did not want to wake up and instantly go on Instagram or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's hard because I was doing a really good job of not spending that much time on social media, and I think I like broke a lot of my habits, which I was proud of, and it took a while, and I definitely felt a lot better, just mentally and
Yeah, definitely.
confidence-wise.
Yeah.
But ever since we started this, I've had to post a lot more and be on it a lot more, and I think I'm still learning how to have that balance of...
Yeah, we gotta figure out how to find a healthy medium too.
Right.
Because I have downloaded the social medias again that I didn't have, and even though I try not to go on them,
It's hard.
yeah, it is tough. It's just, it's always there in the back of your mind. Which, yeah, it is, yeah, part of this world is like when you are trying to promote something or get something out there, and you and I are both working in kind of marketing too, and like, that is the number one focus. Like, that's how you reach people.
I feel like we could talk about this forever.
Yeah, I don't know, it's such a loaded topic. And so prevalent in everybody's life at this point that, I don't know, you can't sum it up in an hour.
It's definitely not going away either.
Not for a really long time. I think it'll just keep changing to the point where, it's scary to say, but I think it'll get to the point where people they don't really know how to exist without it.
Yeah. It's really deep.
yeah, it's just, I think I don't know, people are relying on it now, and the technology is only getting better. And only getting better at like recognizing human patterns and like brain patterns, and it's not going to be, I don't know, it's not going to, there's no reason why it's going to go away. It's only going to continue to get better, and since there's so much money involved in it, I think it's just going to keep motivating people to try to grab the attention of as many people as you can, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's either get on the train or get off. But, yeah, it's not going to stop for sure.
Or just, hopefully, we're still learning this too, or at least I am. Find a healthy medium, healthy balance of being on it, but being off of it. And, I don't know, focus on your mental health too.
Yeah, I think it's important just to kind of step back. And I did this, COVID allowed me to do this, like the step back and look at myself and how I was like interacting with social media, why I was using it, for what benefit, when I was using it, and how much, obviously. And after like looking at that, kind of like looking at your patterns and being like, all right, I think I can survive without Instagram, so I deleted that. It really, I don't know, it didn't make much of a difference, and I don't use it at all, really. I can survive without other stuff too. It's a slow process, but if you're looking to get off of social media or trying to cut down your time, I recommend finding one of those apps and just deleting it for a while and just seeing
how you do without it.
Yeah, because maybe for the first couple of days you'll be reaching for your phone looking for it, but it goes away after a little bit. You can always break that cycle.
How long does it take to break a habit?
I heard 21 days, yeah. I think it's faster than that.
Really?
Yeah, because once you don't have it, I don't know, you realize how much time you're not spending on your phone. Otherwise, you just kind of take those patterns that you'd spend on your phone and use it on one app or something like that if you still have one. But I think like incrementally deleting them, I don't know, it's kind of like, at the same time, it's kind of like quitting a drug almost. You have to...
It is.
Going cold turkey could be pretty tough. Yeah, but I don't know. Crazy time we're living in right now.
Yeah.
With all this.
Crazy in both ways, good and bad.
Yeah, and I think there's so much more that we didn't touch on.
I know, we definitely can come back to this topic and, touch on it again as things come up, but...
Yeah. Keep the update on how we're doing with it. Because, yeah, we're in that weird spot right now where it's like, I don't know, we want to use it, but we don't want to use it.
We want to use it for good reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, we do have an Instagram, a TikTok now, a YouTube channel, Spotify. What are we on? Amazon, Apple, all the podcast platforms if you need to reach us. And don't forget to subscribe if you're watching on YouTube and to rate us if you're listening on Spotify. We'd appreciate the support and feedback too. We're always open to feedback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, let's wrap this up. Get on the move. Thanks for listening. Appreciate it. Appreciate everyone that has reached out and gave me some constructive criticism. I always appreciate getting the feedback too. So I have heard I need to be funnier. So I'm working on it. But yeah, thank you guys again, and see you next week.
Happy Tuesday.
Bye.